Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the Extra Flick Show. I'm Shawn, and today I'm joined by my co host, Austin, and we're going to be talking spoiler talk about 28 years later. So let's get into it. All right, so 28 years later, man. Danny Boyle, Alex Garland, oh God, what's his name? Anthony Dod Michael? Is that his name?
What, the writer?
Yeah, cinematographer.
Oh, cinematographer. Anthony Dod Mantle is his name.
Not Michael. Okay, I was thinking like Anthony Michael Hall or something. I don't know. I was having a... Speaking of, he's been in a lot of crazy stuff over the last few years. Interesting stuff. Yeah. These three though, pretty cool crew here. Danny Boyle. God, what's he done? So much stuff.
Danny Boyle's done a lot of good stuff. Obviously, he did the first 28. I almost said years later. I mean, I guess technically he did because this is apparently supposed to be a trilogy. But Danny Boyle has done things like 127 Hours. He did Slumdog Millionaire. He's done Yesterday, the Beatles movie, I think, from a couple years ago. And then he also did Trainspotting as well. And then not the remake, but the T2 Trainspotting. There was a sequel to Trainspotting. He's done Sunshine. I mean, this man has done so much.
Yeah.
So much good.
Alex Garland, he's done a bunch of stuff. He's also supposed to be possibly writing the Elden Ring, or writing or directing the Elden Ring movie that's supposed to come out.
Oh yeah,
he's attached to that.
I
don't know what his role is before I say the wrong one. But then we also had Anthony Dod Mantle, who I'll admit, like, out of the three, like, he was my least favorite out of this situation. I don't know if you saw my quick review earlier in the week, but the shaky cam was a little much for me sometimes. And I mean, it's crazy because I love the first one. I mean, and the shaky cam is present, but it was a grainier film style. It was this movie was filmed on like iPhones.
They had a 20 iPhone camera rig for those shots where the camera would stop, but it would like shift around. Right. It was a 20 iPhone camera rig with probably like $5,000 lenses on it.
I mean, it's ingenious and stuff. I just is a little jarring for me. I get the reasoning behind it. I do. I get the rage infection. I get it. But that was my least favorite part of the movie as a whole.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like I said, I mean, I love the first one. I just rewatched it, and it's like 5 stars. And the thing I love about it is how raw it is.
Yeah.
But it just feels right there, and in here it just feels. I think it's because it kind of mixes like a little too much with different stuff going on. But of these three guys, none of them worked on the second one, which does make sense because it's very different.
They're so tonally different.
Yeah.
So completely different.
Yeah, it's almost like an action movie, the second one comparatively to these or something. It's definitely a different feel. I mean, Jeremy Renner's great in it. He's cool. He's Hawkeye. Is great too. I mean, he's Hawkeye in it. But pretty much. It's Hawkeye. It's totally Clint Barton. It's totally what it is.
It really is.
Yeah, it's the same character. But yeah, so they're on this island here in the Scottish Isles, one particular island that they built a community on, been living here for 28 years. They have, it's like a fishing farming village type setup, limited resources, but they seem to do pretty well with it. They go to the mainland for wood and stuff. Part of the deal is the rites of passage is when you get to a certain age, you have to go across to the mainland, and it's pretty hardcore. It's like, you can go, everyone can go, you can leave, and you can come back, but like, we're not going to go bring you back.
Yeah. It's pretty cutthroat, but
you come back on your own accord, it's cool, and then we're going to check you, and, that's cool. But so, Spike, our main character, is like 12 years old, and usually like one of the elder women says usually they're like like 14?
14, I think is what they
15.
said. Yeah.
Yeah, usually they're a little bit older, but he's ready. I mean, he seems to be pretty good at stuff.
Yeah.
He's a go-getter. There was a thing at the beginning of this movie that I mean, let me just go ahead and throw up. Let me go ahead and throw up the spoilers because we're going. I mean, it's gonna be labeled as such in the title, but I want to make sure anybody who got this far isn't confused. Right off the get-go, there's a part in the beginning, and there's this scene. I guess it's when the outbreak first started happening. I couldn't tell at first when the movie first started, but it's all these kids in this house, and it's when this village was being attacked. I don't know if it's in this village or where it is. It's I don't think it's this village, but it's very similar, like mountainy village, and everybody gets killed by the zombies, and there's a kid who runs to his father, who's I think he's the actual father. He's calling him father, but I think he's actually his actual father also. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure. Pretty sure he's the actual dad. But he's really weird, and he's like all happy that the zombies are coming. He's thinking this is Judgment Day, and he's got this weird religious view on it, and he's happy to be getting killed by the zombies, and he kind of like goes like willingly, it's Judgment Day, and the kid runs off. So this kid is running off away in the beginning. He's got this upside down cross because he's holding it upside down. It's a cross necklace, but he's running and it's upside down. They kind of like freeze on that. I feel like they led us to believe that was maybe this kid's father, the kid we're seeing, Spike, who's like the main character of the movie.
No, that kid is Jimmy.
Well, I know.
Oh, okay.
At this point in the movie, they're implying, like, they don't tell you who Jimmy is.
Right.
Like, we don't know that till the end. We have no idea. I mean, we might have a clue that Jimmy's a person. We know Jimmy's a person about halfway through because there's a body with Jimmy carved into it.
And then on the wall too, it says Jimmy on. There's Jimmy carved on a wall with other text. So
right. So yeah. But I felt like they were kind of trying to trick us, make us think that this kid grew up to be Aaron Taylor Johnson or something like that.
That's what I thought. Honestly, that's where I was.
There's no reason not to think that at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a little misdirect. It was kind of a fun little misdirect. That was a cool scene in the beginning, except for the father.
Fuck all those kids, apparently. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They
so
just
good.
Immediately. There's no.
Look, this is a controversial take, I know, but and it's gonna sound very fucked up. I like it when they have children death in movies because they don't do that enough. Like, it's a bold thing to just kill. It's a bold thing to kill children in movies and just start your movie that way. I can tell you, I was so in. I was like, oh, let's go.
Well, it definitely sets the tone, right? I mean,
you're like, holy shit, we're killing kids right now.
You're killing children, or you kill a man's dog at the beginning of the movie. You know what you're in for.
Right. So it's like, it's a bold thing to do, and that's why I like it when they do it in horror movies, because it's like people just don't like to touch that, because it's like, it's a touchy thing, but like when you just murk a whole bunch of kids in the beginning, okay, we're really going balls to the wall.
Right.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So,
that
was a crazy start.
So the whole movie is based upon, well, after they go out, they go on a test run, basically, and the very first test run, and Spike is kind of like, not failing, but he's certainly not doing as good as he thought he was going to do under pressure. He kills we got all kinds of like video game category classes of zombies in this one. You got your fat slow ones, you get your fast running ones, you got your alphas. So there's all these different classes, which is kind of crazy. They're on this little this first adventure, and they barely get back because they're dealing with they've come across a group that has an alpha. And the alphas are like so crazy, right? But one of the things that kind of I thought was interesting about the movie, these alphas, is how did they manage to get a hybrid between Jason Mantzoukas and Jason Momoa?
Thank you. I said the same thing. I couldn't remember the first guy. I couldn't remember his name, but literally halfway through the movie, I was like, "Is this not Jason Momoa swinging his dick around?"
This is Jason Mantzoukas and Jason Momoa hybrid as the alpha It's like you get Jason Momoa's body with Jason Mantzoukas' energy, right? Like, this is like that alpha zombie is Jason Mantzoukas' spirit animal.
Yes, absolutely. And just Jason Momoa's, Momoa's size.
Right,
Oh
they
my
just
God.
used him as the body double. Yeah, he's just.
Oh my God.
But it's this guy. It's this guy with this body.
Yeah. 100%. I'm right there with you. Could not agree more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they did it without letting anybody know. It's like top secret. It's like better secrets than Marvel. I mean, holy shit, man. But
oh shit.
But yeah, the mom in this is getting she's sick, and so that's what actually leads to the main story. Right after we've got the whole idea, we get the setup of how they're the village and they go out on these things to the other, and that's where they get all their wood from. They got like major like lumber areas over there and stuff. But yeah, the mom is sick and she's like dying. It's just not a 28 movie, a 28 days, years later movie if we don't have kids doing something fucking stupid. It's always that's one thing I do hate about these movies. I hate a strong word, but I hate it. Well, not in the first one, the second one, the kids. That's what ruins it for me.
Yeah,
it's all because of them. It's all because they couldn't listen. Same thing here in a way.
I mean, I'm blaming what happened in 28 weeks later on the cops because they let that dude near his wife, knowing she was a carrier, and didn't have a person in the room.
Yeah,
they didn't have a person.
But he had all this top secret clearance. He had secret clearance. He had the highest clearance.
But there was no one near them when they were together. And I was like, this is a terrible idea.
But that's an after effect of the kids, though. The wife wouldn't have been there.
Oh, yeah.
If they hadn't left and gone back to the house and found mom.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah,
all because they wouldn't listen. They're the first kids to get released into the quarantine zone, and they're the first thing that fucked up the quarantine zone. The very first thing.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's what pisses me off about that movie. Because it could have been easily solved by just listening. I hate to be yelling at clouds here, but fucking A, kids, listen.
Yeah.
Somebody tells you don't go into zombie land. Don't go into zombie land. What are you doing? Why do you think you're so smart? Same thing happens here with this kid. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having flashbacks.
PTSD here.
Right.
Oh my God.
He thinks now he's a pro. He barely survived. He hated it.
Yeah.
And now he thinks he can do it by himself without his dad, who saved him every time on the first trip.
With this crazy woman who's having conversations with things that aren't even there.
Right.
Like, this is a terrible idea.
Who has to be carried like half the time. Yeah, it's a horrible idea. Okay, when you get past that, when you get past kids doing stupid stuff, that it's a horror movie. Of course, somebody's gonna go in the basement. Duh. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, the acting is awesome in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, as much as the kid's stupid, the kid playing the kid is a brilliant actor.
Dude, he's one of the greatest kid actors I've seen in a long time. I mean, probably since Hill House in 2018, because those kids were incredible.
So good. I mean, everybody in this movie is good.
Oh yeah, 100. There's not one person that I was like, no, I don't like your performance. Every single person, I was like, nah, you guys are all very, very well, or very, very good actors. No complaints.
Right, nailed it.
No complaints.
Even this guy. Asshole character, good actor, still a good actor. Horrible person.
Horrible person, really funny, and then he gets the death he deserves. I mean, he really had the day he deserved.
Yeah, oh yeah, so quick. So quick. Jason Mantzoukas was like,
no, not today, brother.
Bruh. Did you just shoot my wife? Did you just shoot my baby mama?
Nah, which is crazy. That's a crazy scene. As soon as we saw her pregnant,
right?
I mean, I call them zombies. I know there's a hot debate about that. It's just easier. But as soon as we saw her a pregnant one, I was like, oh, we're gonna see it, aren't we? I was like, oh God.
And I just call them rage monsters.
Yeah, rage monsters, infected zombies.
Infected. Yeah, rage monsters. Like, because it's like that rage. They're infected with rage. It doesn't make sense, but it's like rage.
Yeah,
so that's why I call them rage monsters. This is mad. Fucking pissed.
I can tell you this. If these are the zombies we get in real world, just take me out. Take me out. Yeah. I'm not doing these in the real world.
Yeah, cardio is not going to help.
Not against these.
I mean, those
Absolutely
kind of were
not.
rage zombies a little bit. The zombies in Zombieland, they were like rage zombies.
They're definitely a quicker moving for sure.
Yeah, they're fast.
I need the Night of the Living Dead zombies, the ones that are just dragging ass and
Right.
slowly moving. Those
Walking
are the ones
Dead.
I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Walking Dead, they go through stages. I think they
Yeah.
they start fast, and as muscle deteriorate, it's one of the cool things about that show is they kind of, address that.
Well, and that's kind of what I liked about this one is like they did have the fat, slow ones, but then you still have the ones going like running around like crazy that have just been, I guess, doing better than the fat one. So I love that they introduced like, the classes. I thought that was really cool, a really fun, easy thing to do.
It is
And then
interesting too that they're really just kind of have just become wild humans. Like when they're
Right.
not killing people who are smart, like they're just wild. Like they're out like hunting and gathering.
Oh, like those are
Making
scenes at
babies.
night. What's that?
They're making babies.
They're making babies apparently.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's like, well, it's also like, well, maybe that was a pregnant woman previously that turned. That's also possible. Or maybe they're just rage making babies. I don't know. But those night shots where it's like this red filter and they're just eating. Oh my God, there was some just crazy imagery in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, the visuals are really cool. I just feel like it was just a little too shaky. It's hard to focus on. Like I like what I was seeing, but I was like, whoa.
So yeah, it's interesting. It didn't work for you. Fully worked for me.
Now-
I thought it was very bold and ambitious. I was
Now-
like, this is
And maybe it's
crazy.
just my eyes. Maybe I'll get to see it when I see it on a smaller screen. I might totally feel opposite of that and not feel like
Yeah.
it's a big deal because of the frame of my vision. Like if
Yeah,
all
'cause
that
I mean-
movement is happening within this frame, it's a little different than when you're sitting on a big screen and you're like, whoa, like it's like, there's so much movement. It's off. If I got to move my head and stuff to like see stuff, I don't know.
It could change. That's entirely true. Like when I
Yeah.
saw Quarantine in theaters, it was so jarring because that's a found footage style movie. And
Okay,
then I watched it.
Yeah, so
I watched it.
you've experienced something similar, just not from
Yeah.
this movie, but yeah, okay, yeah, because it was just weird, but I do have a feeling, but because of the way I love the first one, I mean, I know I saw the first one in the theaters too, but I was like,
I was gonna say that was 22
30
years ago. I think it was 2005.
yeah, it was
It was a while ago.
in my teens, so
2002.
yeah.
So 24 years, almost 28 years ago.
Yeah, so I was out of my teens, but I was out of high school.
I was to say,
But yeah, so your vision is a little different as you get older. So
Yeah.
maybe and maybe it's my eyes. So we'll see when I will give it a rewatch for sure, because I mean I still really liked it. And people like Rafe Fiennes here. Here I'm having trouble with his last name when it's usually his first name I have trouble with. Rafe Fiennes. Here he is as this Dr. Kensington or whatever, Kenson?
Dr. Kelson.
Kelson. He is the standout in the whole movie. I mean, yeah, him and Alfie, or that's the kid's the actor's name, the Spike. Him and Spike are both. They're where it's at. I mean, that's some of the most meaningful stuff in the movie too. I mean, the scenes with him are so meaningful, and it was interesting that the village, their experience with this guy, when the son asked about the fire he saw out in the woods while they were on their first trip, and his dad was like, "Nah, it's nothing. It's bad. We don't go there or whatever." Doesn't say any reason why, but then his grandfather or whoever that old man was tells him that it's this Dr. Kelson. And so that's why the kid goes on the journey, is to find this doctor to heal his mom. And it turns out that what they thought was acts of weirdness was him just burning the bodies of dead people.
Yeah.
And it's really not that weird. I mean, I even thought when the father was telling him the scene and describing it, I was like, that's not that weird. He said he had the bodies laid out in rows. That's called respect.
Yeah, you're not dumping them all in a pile.
Right. Instead of just piling them on top of each other, he had them each separate, and so they were individual, like almost like graves. But he was taking care of them to respectfully get rid of all that diseased body.
Yeah.
Get rid of the disease, get rid of that blood.
Right,
Burn that shit
exactly.
away.
You're doing the Lord's work at this point.
Right. and you know, they look at him down there, and he looks over and he waves and says, "Come on over," and they're like, "Oh, that's scary bad."
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
doing a service.
First off, there's one of him, and you guys are like 8
Yeah,
with
you could easily
bows
take
and
him.
arrows.
Yeah,
Go down there. You know, like their fear caused a whole other side thing that was like, you know,
well, and this is
had a
something
doctor.
this is something I enjoy about this, because this is a trope in it's like apocalypse style movies where everyone is afraid of each other because they don't know who to trust, and it
Right.
turns out this guy, you can trust him. That's a trope that they flipped around, because usually everyone when they meet is just like at guns drawn, weapons
Right.
drawn, and this guy's like, come on over. Like,
Yeah.
I like that. We're finally flipping this trope around, because we should all be sticking together. There's not much of us left. Like, why do we
Right.
have to fight too?
Yeah.
Come on. So
Yeah, and I mean, he does look crazy. I mean, I guess,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's all about your feelings on death and stuff like that. Like, to me, I mean, I get everything he was talking about, the memento mori and the skulls. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's why, you know, some people, like, you know, a Dia del Muerte, it's like a respect for the dead and a remembrance, as opposed to, oh, we're afraid, you know. And it's like, that's what he's doing, but to them it just seems evil because it's skulls and stuff, you know. And it's
Right.
like, no, man, man is like, it's all a respect. All these people lost their lives because of this thing, like that. All those people, because of this horrible disease, like infection, like that's crazy. They all used to be people.
Yeah, and that bit when he's like, all of those eyes saw things, all those skulls, you know, had memories at one point,
Yeah.
all those mouths were eating things, and now they're here, you know, reduced to this. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's pretty heavy. It's heavy stuff, and I mean, yeah, he's right in all the stuff he says, which is really cool. So while they're here with the doctor, he tells her, the mother, that it's cancer. So there's nothing they can do about it. Like, all
Right.
this has been really for nothing other than to find out it's cancer. She kind of already knew it inside, because it's like, you know, just because civilization stopped doesn't mean cancer does.
Right.
And no medicine, so it's like it's gotten bad, and she knows she has to die, and he's willing to help that along, and you know, take her out of her pain, which is pretty
Right.
heavy, you know, subject. They drug Spike, and the mother lets herself get killed and then burned, and he has Alfie or Spike put the skull on top of the big tower. And
Yeah,
like
and then
the
he faces it toward the sun. I was like, oh, my heart.
I
was
know.
like, oh.
Well, yeah, heartfelt, but also, man, my eyes.
Yeah, true. It's like, I'm fucking blind now.
But
So-
yeah,
oh my
such
God.
a beautiful scene. I mean, so cool. Speaking of, this is kind of out of context here, but the reason why he looks like this is not blood all over him in this picture. It's iodine.
Iodine, yeah.
Yeah. He bathed himself in iodine because the infection doesn't like iodine, so it keeps him, you know, safer from the infection, like from when blood gets on him and shit.
Yeah, he says it's the best prophylactic, and I was like, that is
Yeah.
a hilarious way to put that. I love that.
He's got a whole shield over his whole body. He bathes in it
Yeah.
all the time. So ironically, because the kid, I mean, even though he's survived for years out here with the alphas, no problem. He just drugs them. He calls them names. He calls the Jason Mantzoukas one. He calls it Samson. Now it's led here. It's angry because of this whole thing, and it comes here after all that to try to get them. And for a second, you think he's gonna get it. You think Ray Fiennes is gonna get it. Kelson's dead. He's getting thrown around like a little baby, and then I thought he was even biting the guy's arm, but he was.
I
just
thought he was
holding it.
too.
Yeah, it looked like he was biting it to me, but I guess he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
And the kid drugs Mantzoukas again.
Mantzoukas.
He drugs him and saves his life, and that's really cool. But he's like, I think it's time for you to go.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think it's time for you to kill Samson, because
Right.
just stop letting them roam around.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a weird thing of like kind of letting them be there still. Like once he was
Right.
drugged, couldn't we have killed him? But I guess he's not really into that. He's more into like let live and let live, and when they die, that's when I'll
Yeah.
do my
Which,
thing.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
But
it's fine as long as he's not letting them kill people like regularly, you know. But it does help him stay protected, I imagine, having them all around him, you know,
Yeah.
from people like Jimmy, you know, who we'll
fucking
talk
Jimmy.
about. Yeah, who we'll talk about more. So after this major scene with the skulls, and this was like the main thing, and there was no shaky cam while he was at this camp.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
no shaky cam at this camp, which was great. That's why it's the best part of the movie. But then he leaves, and you know he's all smarter now. You know, even though he hasn't really. I mean, that's the thing with these things. Like sometimes it's like, okay, well, yeah, you've made it now, but have you really? I mean, you didn't really. I don't know why he's that much braver now at the end, other than I guess maybe just like the acceptance. So now he's not nervous as much. I guess it's just it's a mental breakthrough.
Yeah, I think so.
But he decides not to go home because we did find out at one point also that his dad had been cheating on his mother.
Yeah, it was some floozy. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, probably any floozy. But yeah, his dad was. He didn't like that. Which I mean, we don't know because he was lying to the mother. I mean, he wasn't just lying to the son; he was lying to the mother too. It wasn't like he had some kind of arrangement like you're dying. I'm gonna. Do
Yeah, there
stuff.
was no arrangement.
Yeah, it wasn't
just,
like she was
I'm
like, "Oh, it's
fucking around.
okay," you know, for you to have something on the side or anything. Like, yeah, so.
Well,
So-
even if they did have a conversation, you have to know, like, she's not going to remember because they were having the same conversation
Yeah.
multiple times. So it's like he could tell her and then she would just forget about it. So it's like, imagine being in his spot of like, what do I do? Like, what do I
Right.
do here? I'm trying to take care of my wife. I also have needs. So
Yeah.
it's a very fucked up situation to be in, and it's an apocalypse. Like,
Yeah, she's
fuck.
so lost at one point. She's calling Spike dad
Right.
because he
I
has
mean,
her dad's eyes.
She's not on planet Earth anymore.
Yeah.
She's not here. So it's a fucked up situation to be in.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But he decides not to go home, and that he's gonna. Oh, yeah. All this time they still have the baby.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Going back to the pregnant zombie, that
Yeah,
thing, they did keep the baby. It was
Right.
not infected.
The mom helped deliver the baby.
That
They
was
got the
crazy.
baby, and now they're gonna bring the baby back to. Yeah, the doctor says it's the magic of the placenta.
You're right.
Okay. I mean, I mean, I guess that's all we can just figure at this point. We got no labs or anything to figure anything out, so that's all we can figure out.
But I'm glad they established that with that one line because
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, wouldn't that be infected too? And he's like, magica placenta. I'm like, whatever.
That
That's
sort of makes sense.
Sure, that
I mean,
makes sense.
it is there to take all the bad out and put it in the good. I mean, it is literally what it's supposed to do. So
Right.
I
so,
guess
good enough
yeah.
explanation.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the kid takes the baby back to the outside gate, puts the baby on the gate, and then leaves. Somehow they don't see him. They're so good at watching the gate. They don't see him walk all the way up the road that goes underwater twice a day or all day, comes up twice a day.
Remember though, when they were running back, when the alpha was chasing him, they were asleep up there.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe they were just asleep when he dropped the baby off. So
Yeah, they're not very good at watching. They've gotten kind of lazy over the years, apparently. But oh yeah, so the kid decides to go back out into the world, and then he runs into Jimmy,
fucking Jimmy,
who we find out it was the kid from the beginning of the movie who was raised by the weird preacher. And now he's kind of a weird preacher guy, but wearing a jumpsuit. They're like the track suit preachers.
Yeah,
And they
look
all
like
have bleach blonde hair. And they're all like super weird and like clearly enjoy killing for fun.
Oh, so much.
Like they have styles.
Oh, they've got they're doing like Taekwondo out there with all these
golf clubs and like flips through the air. Like, I mean, they look like anime characters, like straight up from anime. And I mean, it feels so much like anime characters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or like a weird gang from Warriors. Like these guys would be a gang in the Warriors.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, where's the
100% see
baseball
that.
gang? Like,
Yeah.
you know, Warriors.
Come out and
Infected
play.
warriors come out to play.
What a weird gaggle of misfits that was at the end there. Just
Yeah.
like, I like your style.
So I
but
mean,
you're
they save the kid because he kind of like backs himself into a corner immediately because, of course, because he's dumb. He shouldn't be out there on his own.
right.
He's immediately kind of in a dead end, and he maybe could have crawled out if he just crawled out instead of doing everything else he was doing wrong. But they save him, and now it's like it's sort of very open ended. Of like, is this gonna be good or bad for Spike?
Because he says, let's be friends, but they also say that in jail, and that doesn't go right for people sometimes, too. So,
yeah, Fleece Johnson wants to be friends too.
it's like, I don't know, man.
Do this
And
the
then
easy way or the
that's how it
hard
ends.
way?
And you're like, it makes sense since there's going to be more.
Yeah.
That would have been a weird way to do it if it was a one-off, because I would have been like, what the fuck ending was that? But since there are supposed to be more, it does leave it open for whatever that story is going to be. And if
Right.
he's in the next one, fucking so
Well,
down.
I would imagine that's where we're going now, is to where it's like really crazy out in the mainland. And I would imagine the father and mother. Apparently, they've already filmed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they filmed back to back on these two movies.
That was probably
So,
smart.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because they said Cillian Murphy is going to be reprising his role in the next one
Sweet.
as Jim, which would be interesting. I hope he's not a reason why this kid is named Jimmy. I hope Jim didn't turn out to be a bad person. There's no way. Jim's a good guy. Jim's too
I don't
good
think
of
so.
a
Because
guy.
I mean, ideally, unless his, like, I don't know, girlfriend, whatever they were at the end of 28 Days, because they had the daughter and then I guess his girlfriend.
Yeah.
As long as I mean, I don't know. Are they going to come back too? Did they die?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that is kind of up in the air that I don't know. I'm kind of curious though.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm still not convinced that this wasn't Cillian Murphy
Right.
because that looks like him.
Oh no, it does.
Yeah.
The actor actually came out and said, he was like, no, and even Cillian Murphy was like, it's not me. But yeah, I'm like, are you sure though? Are we sure?
Yeah.
Are you 100% sure?
It's got your haircut.
Kind of looks like you.
Not the haircut
So-
here, but when he woke up in, that's the haircut he had like when he woke up in the hospital
yeah.
the first time. You know,
So,
this is when he was being a badass in the first one. Oh my God. So,
dude, the third act, it literally fucks so hard at the
Yeah.
end of 28 Days Later. Oh my God.
dude, he is just on a rampage.
It goes from it's like a post-apocalyptic movie to kind of a, oh God, I'm really worried for these women, to
Right.
like a revenge movie. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, when everything changes when what's his name there? Oh God, who's that actor who plays the general there?
Oh, the general in 28 Days Later?
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, when he says like, you know, oh, the boys were just getting lonely and I told them we'd get some women.
Yeah, he
It's
promised them women. I was like,
yeah, he promised them women. It was like, oh God, I hate you so
I
bad.
don't like you at all.
Yeah, and just like that helpless feeling Jim had at that moment was like, oh my God, I'm so fucked.
Yeah.
But then he wasn't. It just all worked out, and it was like, oh,
Thank God. I was
Man.
so worried.
Jim's the
worried.
luckiest guy on the planet, man. Not only was he in the hospital, he's so lucky he got hit by that the truck or whatever when he was delivering.
Right?
I think that's what happened. He was delivering or something. He got hit
Yeah, he
by
was-
a trolley or
yeah.
something. He said,
Yep. And then he ended up there, and yeah.
yeah. So,
Good shit, though.
but yeah, man, it's a pretty great movie. I mean, besides my problems, like I think the shaky cam, it didn't totally ruin it for me. And I mean, I still feel like I give it a good rating, but my rating may come up once I rewatch it.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, my rating on this one was a 3.5
Okay.
monkey buckets. So that may change. That may change for me because once I see it on the small screen, I may be like, why did I even think that? How did I even have these thoughts? What was wrong with me?
That's fair. That's fair.
How about you?
So given the scope of everything, how the world feels lived in, and what I found to be incredible pacing, because I feel like it almost pays homage to both movies with pacing. You get a little bit of 28 weeks with the crazy rage monsters going insane. You get a little bit of 28 days where it's focused on the characters and very emotional, and then you get a bonkers third act with a mystery, just like, oh, what are we doing after this? I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I do think cinematically it is brilliant. I think they took a lot of big swings for the fences, and most of them for me hit. There was only a couple small issues I had and that was regarding the cinematography. And how basically once you go away from the main island into the woods, they kind of just you just stopped hearing about those characters for a while. And I was like, well, I get what we're doing, but also we're kind of just it's like we just two different movies happen. So small issues, but I mean, I still think it's I just think it's a brilliant movie. And it's nice to see my theater was sold out. It was nice to see a sold out theater for a brand, for a new horror movie.
Right.
That was great.
For sure.
So yeah, I really loved it. It was really good.
You know what I forgot to ask about while we were going over it is, I forgot to bring up is
what's that?
The weird cut scenes. I described them in my other review as being sort of like Rob Zombie House of a Thousand Corpses cuts, the weird cuts that are unrelated to the film at all, but are supposed to I guess give a feeling whenever I get it sort of like when they're doing the bows shooting, so they're trying to show us, but I mean, I don't know if they needed to show that. It was it's like a weird old 50s movie, and I don't know. It sort of. I was hoping it would pay off. I was hoping there was a reason why we're seeing this. Somebody into these movies? Is somebody are we gonna see in the town they're into these movies or something? This is how they train the kids. What? I don't know why those scenes kept getting showed. There's flashes.
That was one of the artistic choices that was kind of a miss for me. But I will say though, with that being said, there's one scene where there's this lady singing in German or something like that, and they're going through the woods, and it starts pumping and just getting louder and louder.
The voice thing is cool. No, I like the radio. Oh. I like the radio thing because
I feel like the
transmission. I feel like that could actually be a thing happening in real life. They could have those radio transmissions at some point within the 28
such an incredible that whole scene. I was I was getting anxious. But
I do like those, and I did like I do like it sometimes when they'd cut to the darkness and the bloody things, and those would be okay.
That I loved.
Right, those, but it was just the weird castle ones, I guess. And I guess it was supposed to imply the fortress of the base or something. It just those particular images threw me off, whereas the other ones felt in place. Okay, we're cutting to scenes of violence and stuff. Makes sense. We're trying to get a feeling for what these creatures are doing off in the woods and stuff. I get that, the wild nature and I mean, while that's still got that music video feel, like Rob Zombie House of a Thousand Corpses, it wasn't as out of place as those other scenes. Which, those particular images, I wonder. I mean, I sort of get it, right? Because, like I said, it's I get with the archers and I get with the walls and the fort, and it's but I'm not sure if it was necessary, I guess.
I get it. I totally get it and I understand it. But that's one of the artistic choices that didn't fully work because I was I get what you're doing. I just don't know why we're doing this.
Right. And that's art. That's art, I mean, I felt it's very artsy, very super artsy chances and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I heard you say, what did you say? I don't know if we said it earlier, but it's unlikely that 2 and 3 are even going to be anywhere resembling this movie. I feel like they're going to be very different in style. I feel like a lot of stuff is. I feel like it's going to kind of evolve. I feel like it's.
Because if you look at the track record, right, you have 28 Days, which was very character-driven, emotionally driven. The zombies, rage monsters almost felt like background noise, right?
Yeah.
Then you have 28 Weeks, where it's it feels like in the first one too, 28 days, it's isolation, it's hopelessness, it's just dread. And then in 28 weeks, it's just full-blown panic, crank it to 11. And then in this one, it kind of, like I said, kind of combines both of those. So each movie has almost been tonally completely different.
I think we're going to get more chaos in the next one.
I think so too.
I mean, Jimmy, you have to assume that there's probably people who are worse than him.
Exactly. And if he's coming in swinging like that, they're probably going to be doing that a lot. Right. So I think there's going to be more action.
Yeah, I think we're going to run into a lot of other weird tribes of people.
Yeah.
You know,
clans
who are weird, who are much weirder. And they have to be because they live inland. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these people got to be 28 years on the fringe.
And this is the first person we've seen that has survived all 28 years, ideally out
on the
there.
mainland.
I mean,
yeah.
So I'd be a little crazy
Kelson,
too.
But he's got a whole different. They're still on the fringe. It's like, but as you move further inland, how weird is shit gonna get?
How weird is shit gonna get? Are we gonna go back to the city at some point? Because this one was almost exclusively in the forest. A great change of scenery. So it's like, I mean, I'm excited. The second one's supposed to be called the Bone Temple, which is fucking such a cool name.
Yeah.
I assume it's referencing the Bone Temple we saw already, but I have no idea. Maybe there's a bigger structure. I don't know.
Bigger Bone Temple.
Bigger Bone Temple.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe we're probably going to get, maybe Jimmy ends up encountering Kelson, you know. God, I hope Ray Fiennes is still in the next one. I hope. He's so good. He's
so good. Every time I see his name attached to a movie, I'm like, oh, yep, I'm there.
Yeah, I know we got Aaron Taylor Johnson again. I'm pretty sure he's in the second one. The kid. We're gonna have we got Jimmy. We got
apparently Cillian Murphy.
Be interesting to see if Mantzoukas makes another appearance.
He's not dead, so I think he might make an appearance.
They all look like him too. It's not just that one. I'm pretty sure it's like a video game character, just like all the fat ones were the one man. Like they were all the same.
They all kind of look the same. Oh goodness.
Oh man. Yeah. Well. So yeah, that's really all we have for today. I guess I could go ahead and why don't you tell us where they can find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Slasher app, and Blue Sky. I should probably post up there. Frightmares Podcast. Follow me on Letterboxd at Dr. Proctor, and you can check out the Frightmares Podcast on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Amazon. New episodes every Wednesday. Check it out. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, you can find me here, of course, and then also on the social medias at Extra Flicks. And I'm also have another YouTube channel where I do Lego related stuff. It's called Extra Bricks. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, then please check that out. And glad everybody stopped by. We truly appreciate it. And have a nice day.
See ya.
Bye.